coming to you live from Seattle. Tonight, the Cuban Missile Crisis, also known as the October Crisis or the Missile Scare.
And now we go live to Justin with a Channel 4 News update.
The U.S. placed a nuclear missile in Turkey and Italy, which was aimed at Moscow. They attempted to overthrow the Cuban regime, but was unsuccessful. These preparations were noticed by the Defense Intelligence Agency, which on October 14th tasked an aircraft-operated U-2 aircraft with scanning the suspected areas in Cuba. The Kennedy administration held only a slim hope that the Cubans would agree to their demands, expecting military confrontation. However, in a secret back-channeled communications, the president initiated a proposal to resolve the crisis.
Here's Jackie with a special news bulletin.
A month ago, U.S. spy planes were spotted flying over Cuba and discovered the presence of Soviet-made medium-range nuclear missiles on the island. Missiles were fired from the coast of Florida and could easily strike targets in the U.S. as far as north as Cincinnati and as far west as San Antonio, and without minimal warning time. The missiles in Cuba had allowed the Soviets to effectively target almost the entire continental U.S. The planned arsenal had 40 launchers, and the Cuban populace noticed the arrival and deployment of the missiles, and hundreds of reports were reached throughout Miami. U.S. intelligence received countless reports, most of which were described as the saying of defensive missiles. They described large trucks passing through towns at night carrying very long canvas-covered cylindrical objects that could not make turns through towns without backing up and maneuvering, although defensive missiles could make these turns.
And now, a very special speech from the President of the United States, John F. Kennedy.
Good evening, my fellow citizens. This government, as promised, has maintained the closest surveillance of the Soviet military buildup in the island of Cuba. Within the past week, unmistakable evidence has established the fact that a series of offensive missile sites is now in preparation on that imprisoned island. The purpose of these bases can be no other than to provide a nuclear strike capability against the Western Hemisphere. This nation is prepared to present its case against the Soviet threat to peace in our own proposals for a peaceful world at any time and in any forum. In the OAS, in the United Nations, or in any other meeting that could be useful, without limiting our freedom of action. We have in the past made strenuous efforts to limit the spread of nuclear weapons. We have proposed the elimination of all arms and military bases. In a fair and effective disarmament treaty, we are prepared to discuss new proposals for the removal of tensions on both sides, including the possibilities of a genuinely independent Cuba, free to determine its own destiny. We have no wish to war with the Soviet Union, for we are a peaceful people who desire to live in peace with all other people. Our goal is not the victory of might, but the vindication of right. Not peace at the expense of freedom, but both peace and freedom. Here in this hemisphere, and we hope, around the world, God willing, that goal will be achieved. Thank you, and good night.
Now, here with a special guest is Alejandra and Diana.
Good afternoon. I'm Alejandra Grijalva, reporting live from Seattle for Channel 4 News.
And I'm Diana Torres. Today we have a very special guest with us. Please welcome Mr. President John F. Kennedy. Mr. President, there have been allegations regarding the brink of a nuclear war. What are your comments on this rumor?
Well, as you said, it is just a rumor. We are hoping to reach a peaceful agreement with the Soviet Union.
Do you think that ordering a naval blockade of Cuba was effective?
Yes, we were able to prevent the Russians from bringing additional missiles and construction materials into Cuba.
How will the possession of missiles from the Soviet Union affect this crisis?
Well, in that case, we would have to take stronger measures. However, we are hoping this will not be the case.
Mr. President, how do you feel about Premier Khrushchev authorizing his Soviet commanders in Cuba to launch their tactical and nuclear weapons against us?
We will have to fight unless they decide to put down their arms and surrender.